No, drag it to the left. Align it perfectly. And the font size, make it 11. And the margin, tighten it.
Have you ever worked for a leader like that? Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you've experienced it. Or maybe you've caught yourself doing it. The truth is, most leaders don't wake up planning to micromanage. They start with good intentions. They want quality. They want consistency. They want the team to succeed. But somewhere along the way, support becomes control, guidance becomes interference, and trust slowly disappears. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest challenges in leadership. How do you hold people accountable without becoming the person everyone dreads working for? Because accountability and micromanagement are not the same thing. One builds ownership, the other destroys it. Let's talk about the difference. And if this is your first time here, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a conversation. New episodes drop every week. The leadership trap. Most leaders end up living in the middle of two extremes. The first is avoidance. They see a problem. They hope it fixes itself. They avoid the conversation. The second is micromanagement. Every decision has to go through them. Every email gets reviewed. Every task gets checked. Neither approach develops people. One creates confusion. The other creates dependence. Real leadership lives somewhere in the middle. Why leaders micromanage? But why does this happen in the first place? Here's something many people don't realize. Micromanage usually isn't about ego. It's about fear. Fear the work won't get done. Fear of the mistakes. Fear of losing control. Sometimes it's because a leader was promoted because they were excellent at doing the work. But leading is different from doing. Instead of developing people, they keep stepping back into the work themselves, and eventually the team stops thinking, they stop deciding, they stop taking ownership. Not because they can't, because they've learned the leader would do it anyway. Accountability isn't control. Here's the mindset shift. Accountability isn't about control, it's about ownership. And ownership begins with clarity. If people don't know what's expected, they can't be accountable for the outcome. Clear expectations, clear priorities, clear deadlines. When those things are established up front, follow-up doesn't feel like surveillance. It feels like leadership. What great leaders do? The best leaders don't hover. They don't rescue people every time something goes wrong. They coach. They ask questions. They remove obstacles. Then they step back. When the problem arises, they address them early, not to embarrass someone, not to punish someone, but because small conversations prevent big problems. Remember this, silence doesn't protect relationships. It usually creates confusion. Here's a question every leader should ask. Am I checking because my team needs support or because I need control? That one question changes everything. If your team depends on you for every answer, you're building dependence. If your team understands the expectations and own the results, you're building leaders. And that's the goal. Here's my closing challenge. This week, pick one expectation that needs to be clearer. Then schedule one follow-up conversation. Not to check up on someone, but to check in with them. Because that is the kind of leader people talk about for the rest of their careers. Not the one who controlled everything. The one who trusted people enough to be clear and cared enough to follow through. Accountability builds trust. Micromanagement destroys it. Lead with clarity and not control. If this episode resonated with you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a leader who needs to hear it. From one leader to another, keep growing, keep leading, and I'll see you in the next episode.
From one leader to another, we talk about the real work. From one leader to another.